We watched lawsuits be dropped within 5 days, six-figure ones. And so I wrote my first notice, and when I did, I didn't speak to the flesh. I didn't go into the notice and say, hey, this is your legal system says this and all this. I went, and I've sent this in the group. You guys have, if you've read it, I said, this message does not come to you alone and lonely. It comes to you backed by the entire kingdom of heaven. Every angel and Christ himself have sent me with this message today. You are trespassing upon the earth inside of bodies that do not belong to you, and you know where you are supposed to be and that you need to go home. So I directed my messages to the entities inside of the bodies that were doing these things to the host that was unaware of it happening, because I know that the moment that the eyes gazed upon the paper, the entity inside would read it. And so that was where I came from with all of my documents. And we watched lawsuits be dropped within 5 days, six-figure ones. We watched the FTC and IRS go, our hands are out of it on tax liabilities of up to six figures. We watched CPS change their tone mid-sentence when they saw my trust. We watched courtrooms completely clear out and shut down for 24 hours, sending people with warrants home. They became unprofitable. We watched hospitals have to give my grandma her ability to make her own choices back instead of just forcing her into hospice. We watched a shelter have to give a dog back after they said the previous day, we're keeping that dog for 30 days. And I sent a notice to the cop and the shelter. And the next morning at 9:24 a.m., I get an email saying, you can come pick up the dog anytime. And I'm like, oh, I thought that this was policy. I thought that, you had to do this. And so I watched a police officer write a letter of intent to even speak to me instead of fear mongering me into questioning, because I told him I know what your line of question is and I'm not participating. We're not sitting down and doing this. I watched police stations completely stop infringement within 24 hours. I watched entire law offices stop their movement instantly as soon as they got the notice because they didn't know what to do. I've seen district attorneys trip over themselves. Like, it's just because I don't speak their language. I don't put myself in their sandbox. I don't use their forms. I don't try to quote their stuff that has nothing to do with me. Every bit of it was written for a mimic, a paper fiction that's not me. If the only reason that it could even affect me is if I identify with it.